as a country. How about that? You know, I've said that in a lot of speeches. We've lost our confidence. What a horrible thing to attribute to our country, that we've lost our confidence, and we will. We have no leadership. We're not respected any place in the world. But I'm more confident than ever that we will soon be sitting behind that beautiful resolute desk in the Oval Office, and we'll bring it back quickly. Because together we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. It was the greatest economy in history. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. With the biggest tax cuts ever recorded, bigger than the Ronald Reagan, and we like Ronald Reagan, but we beat him out on the tax cuts. The biggest regulation cuts, the record energy production like never before, and rising wages for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. Never did so well. We never did so well. Under crooked Joe Biden, it's been 3 straight years of total economic warfare and welfare and stagnation on working American families. Think of it, they had essentially 39% increase in inflation, 39. So think of this, no matter how well you did, you didn't do that well. That means you fell behind the 8 ball, because the inflation that he caused primarily because of the stupid energy policies, windmills all over the place. Let's put up windmills all over. Let's do, windmills, it's the most expensive energy anywhere in the world. You can't do more expensive than wind, aside from the fact that they kill the birds, they kill everything around them. It's the Green New Scam. It's part of the Green New Scam. But they had, think of it, a 3-year inflation rate essentially at about 39, if you include everything. They like to say, well, we're not including food, minor things like rent, food, energy. Under my leadership, you had virtually no inflation. Under Crooked Joe, you had energy prices reach the highest level in history, the history of anywhere. That's a good idea. We'll be here for a while. Let's just enjoy it. Sit down wherever you can. Whoever has a seat, sit down. I'm very honored. Don't worry, you'll be standing up soon. You'll be standing up. Speaking of standing up, behind me, I just see them. These are incredible women. I don't know about the husbands. I don't know what's on with the husbands, because this is, I think it's about the 115th time. And they come from a place that's not too far away. You do like North Carolina, right? They come from North Carolina, so it's, they travel to Texas, California. Oh, there they are. There's some more over here. There's a husband. Finally, I see a husband. But these women are unbelievable. They love our country. And at least for this one, they didn't have to travel very far. So that's very nice. And then over here, we have Front Row Joes. I think it's 125. I don't know what they do. I know they're rich, but I don't know what they do. But we love all of you. You're great American patriots. Thank you. And by the way, the Vietnamese delegation, I don't know what it is about Vietnam, but they do like me. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we like them. Thank you. They travel with me all over. I must be too soft on Vietnam because you like me too much. You like me too much. Thank you very much. I agree. They want freedom. That's right. Under Biden, gas prices have reached $5, $6, and even $7 a gallon. In some places in California, they've gone up to $8 and $9. 3 years ago, under my leadership, we had energy independence, and we were soon going to have energy dominance. All over the world, we're going to be dominant. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country. Think of it. And we don't know what we're doing with it. I had gas prices at $1.87 a gallon. Wouldn't that be nice? Thanks to Bidenomics, the 3-year mortgage rate has hit a 22-year high. with the average mortgage payment at a brutal $3,322 a month. Nobody's ever had, they've never had numbers like that. When I was president, the average monthly mortgage rate was nearly 50% less. In fact, we had numbers at 2%. We had a period of time at 2% that had never veered much from that. You were saving $19,000 a year on your mortgage. And while Crooked Joe likes to brag about the stock market is up just a small percentage after you deduct and adjust for inflation, which is setting records. What we're doing with inflation. And by the way, after the election, and we can't say this because much bigger problems, our country will be destroyed if we don't win this election. But if perchance they won, you will see numbers on energy, the likes of which you've never seen before. They are doing, you know, they're pumping it as much as they can under the Trump. They're saying, keep it going, let them keep going. If this election ended as a failed election or a rigged election, and I say the only way it can end where they win is a rigged election, because what they did in 2020 is disgraceful. And look what happened. Look what happened to our country. You have wars that never would have taken place. Russia would have never attacked Ukraine. Israel would have never been attacked. You wouldn't have had inflation. It was all caused by the energy. But by contrast, under my leadership, the stock market was up by an astounding 62%, with inflation almost at zero, 62%. With your vote, we will vanquish Bidenomics, which is a very negative term. You know, he heard the term, he loved it. Oh, that's good. No, that's a really bad term. It didn't work. And we will reinstate Maganomics. That's right. Maganomics. You guessed it. And we will bring our country back from hell. Our country has been through hell. When you think about what happened in Afghanistan, all the things that took place, our country's been through hell. We're laughed at all over the world. Crooked Joe is now pushing a $6 trillion tax hike. $6 trillion. This will be the largest tax hike in the history of our country, maybe in the history of the world, I guess. And if he wins, that's what's in store for the hardworking people of South Carolina, a wonderful state that we work so closely with Henry and everybody. And we had it to a level that it's never seen before. And now it's never going to be quite like that. It can't be, but it's just going off. You know, the stock market is up. Many people, some of the smartest people in the market, say it's up because we're leading Biden in the polls by so much, and they expect that we're going to win. If we lose, you're going to have a crash like you wouldn't believe. If we lose, that's an incentive if you have stock. If we have a tragedy happen on November 5th, it would be a tragedy. In the opinion of many, and in my opinion, you will have the largest stock market crash we've ever had, because a lot of the stock market, because the only thing that's doing well is the stock market, and it's doing well because the polls are all showing that we're winning by a lot. So we gotta make sure we win. And if we win, you're all getting the biggest tax cuts because we're doing additional cuts and a brand new Trump economic boom. A boom like you've never seen before, not even in our great 4 years. When I was president, we slashed taxes for working families. We doubled the child tax credit. Not a very Republican thing to do, but I said, let's do it anyway. That was something that we wanted to do, and people are very happy about it. The mothers, the families, they're very happy. We did something that we really felt we should do, and we supported moms and dads by dramatically expanding education savings accounts, which is a big deal. Use them. Under my leadership, the Republican Party will always support the creation of strong, thriving, healthy American families. We're supporting America First, a little thing called America First. We want to make it easier for mothers and fathers to have babies, not harder. You know that. That includes, and you saw this, it was a big deal over the last few days, that includes supporting the availability of fertility treatments like IVF in every state in America. You've been seeing Alabama It's been a big story. Like the overwhelming majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republican, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans, I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious little beautiful baby. I support it. And today I'm calling on the Alabama legislature to act quickly to find an immediate solution to preserve the availability of IVF in Alabama, and I'm sure they're going to do that. The Republican Party should always be on the side of the miracle of life and the side of mothers and fathers and beautiful little babies. You have to be on that side. IVF is an important part of that, and our great Republican Party will always be with you. We're always going to be with you in your quest to find that ultimate joy in life. You know, the ultimate joy in life is a beautiful, healthy, wonderful baby. So we are with you, and I wanted you to know that. And a lot of Republicans told me I put that message out on a thing called Truth Social. Has anybody been tuning in lately? It's hot. Truth Social's hot. But we put it out a little while ago, and a lot of people called up, a lot of politicians called up. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And that's the way we feel. So we're going to be with you all the way, and you're going to see things. We want to help. I mean, it's a very big subject, frankly, very complicated and very big, but we're with you all the way, and I think there are a lot of happy people in this room. Most of you know exactly what I'm talking about, but thank you very much. Most of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Crooked Joe Biden is not the only massive tax hiker in this race. You also have a person, oh, she's so bad. She said, I will never run against our president. He has been a great president. He is one of the greatest presidents ever. I will never run, I promise you, I will never, ever run. 3 years later, how about that? 3 years later, she goes, ladies and gentlemen, I decided to run now. What happened? You ever see the clips? We have about 12 clips. I will never run against our president. He's one of the greatest presidents ever. A little bit later, no, don't use the name Bird Brain. That's not it. Please, madam, don't use the name Bird Brain. No, we got to win this. We have to win big. We have to show, again, supported by the Democrats. Supported and funded by the Democrats. Republicans aren't supporting her. They don't like her policy. She's essentially a Democrat. I think she should probably switch parties. Probably she should switch parties. But you have a Nikki Haley who tried to double your gas tax here in South Carolina. Remember, she said that's not true. But then we put up clips. No, she tried very hard, and she also supports a 23% national sales tax, which basically equals election debt. You know what that is, right? You can't get elected when this stuff comes out. And you think they treat me bad, and they do. They're horrible people. These people are sick. I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone. I got indicted. My parents are looking down. They're saying, I never thought this could happen to my son. He's been indicted. I didn't know what the hell the word, and it all took place instantly. If I fly over a blue state, the next day I get a federal grand jury notice, please record. And they indicted me on bullshit. It's all bullshit. But remember, if any other person were in this position, they'd be treated the same way as they're treating me. I don't think that's harshly. I think they truly hate me more than anybody that's ever lived. It's all because we won an election, 2016, that we weren't expected to win. Now, I expected to win it. All of you expected. We'd go to rallies with a 50,000, 52,000, 68,000, 101,000. We had our rally. And they'd go to rally and they'd have like in the case of Biden, he'd have 8 circles, beautiful little circles. And they'd have to use the media to stand him because they had no people. And then you hear, oh, they won just by a little bit. They just ounced us out. No, it's a crooked deal. But Nikki Haley, if she were ever in this position, they'd go after her. I could tell you about 5 reasons right now, but I don't want to get myself in trouble. They'll say, he's so mean. He's so mean. Oh, there are some reasons. I think everybody in your state knows some beautiful reasons. They would go after her the same way they go after me. That's what they do. Because they're basically a party of misinformation, disinformation. They lie, and they say it like Russia, Russia, Russia. Took me 2.5 years to get that one off my back. You know, that was a real crooked deal. They used that as an excuse why beautiful Hillary. I call her beautiful because I've taken the name Crooked Hillary off. I've given it to Biden because I had sleepy Joe Biden. I have crooked Joe Biden. I think crooked Joe is more accurate, you know. Although sleepy's pretty good. Nikki Haley is not in this race to fight for you. She's in the bidding for big donors, or maybe she wants to get a contract on CNN. You know, did you see their ratings? Uh-oh, there go the CNN cameras off. What did I do? I shouldn't have done that. The light just went off. They knew what was coming, right, Tim? They knew what was coming. No, they have the worst ratings they've ever had. The thing is dying. You know why? Because they're not truthful. They're not truthful. They're really not. By the way, did Tim Scott make a great speech? Huh? You're sorry. I don't know if he likes it when I say this, but it's so meant as such a compliment because he's such a fine man. He ran, and he ran okay. He was okay. He was okay. He's a respected guy, but he ran, and he did fine. And then when he got out, he endorsed me, and he's a surrogate. He's the greatest surrogate I've ever seen. This guy went from modest, high-quality man, introducing his mother, who's incredible, by the way. But I said, Tim, I called him up. He took everybody. He had like 5 of the worst human beings interviewing him, trying to hit me. He said, Donald Trump did this, he did that, he did criminal justice reform, he did things. And by the time he finished, they just wanted to get off the set. And I said, he's a much better representative for me than he is a representative for himself. And it's true. And that's a great compliment. And you know why? Because he's a high-quality person. He doesn't like talking about himself. It's true. It's true. No, I came into arena 3 weeks ago, big arena. You know, we won in Iowa in a record. You know, Nikki, she loses to Biden in virtually every poll. She has one poll that's so old now, the paper is turning, and nobody ever heard of the poll. She loses to Biden in all the polls. But forget that. This guy, he's far more interesting. So, we won Iowa in a landslide in a record, the likes of which has never been seen. In fact, we took the record and they doubled it. We won by that margin. We then went to New Hampshire. We got more votes than anybody in the history of New Hampshire, the New Hampshire primaries, which they've been around a long time. And I heard Nikki today said, yeah, I lost 2. No, she lost 4, because she lost the Virgin Islands, which she tried like hell.
Economy to live in constant fear. I mean, the phone company, they have your name on the bill. They know your number. How do you feel about that?
I knew it.
Hello, Julie from Liberty City. You're on the line.
A cowboy ghost has been haunting my house.
I want you to take off your blouse. Stand at the window. Stand there for hours each night. Lure him in. Trapping rogue spirits is dangerous work, especially topless. Take lots of photographs. All right, who's got a theory for me? Next.
Hey man, love the show, but when are you guys gonna start seeing the bigger picture? We're being lied to, man.